I pray that tomorrow you will have a wonderful Thanksgiving time and celebration, and of course, that Thanksgiving meal. You know, life's not designed to be wolfed down. Life is made to be savored. I've got some good news for you. You can savor God's blessings and become a connoisseur of God's amazing grace. You know, when Jesus taught, do not be anxious about tomorrow, Jesus was inviting us to become mindful of the present moment. We spend so much of our mental time replaying yesterday's regrets and worrying about tomorrow's hypothetical problems that we have very little mental space left to actually enjoy, to slow down, to savor any given moment, especially the present moment. God desires for us to savor all of His goodness, moment by moment. It might be easier to define this savor by describing its opposite. In my first job, when I was fresh out of my undergraduate studies in electrical engineering, I went to work for a cargo transportation company, and I was in their avionics division. My job was simply to repair and test the navigation and radar systems for the airplanes which would fly cargo to their destinations. The opposite of savor would happen each day when lunchtime approached. Lunch was 30 minutes long, and it was strictly enforced. This was a very different experience than I had been used to for the past few years, and thus I found myself rushing to the lunchroom to locate a table so that I could sit down and open up and get to eating as quickly as I could before that buzzer would go off that would signify the end of lunch and to get back to work. Some days I don't remember what I ate or what it tasted like, and even if I should fix it again for the next day's lunch. I enjoy eating, but these lunch experiences, they were anything but moments to savor. As you gather tomorrow with your family and friends in the Thanksgiving celebrations, I'd like to invite you to taste Thanksgiving, to savor the day, to savor this season that is leading us into Advent and into Christmas. There will not only be those delicious sweets and the wondrous sights and the meaningful conversations, but to savor each moment as an act of thankful worship. Allow your soul to take in, to feel, and to absorb the textures and the flavors of the season as it is unfolding. To savor Thanksgiving and Christmas is to take in the season bite by bite. Exactly opposite the way in which I experienced my lunchtime in that first job. We're not designed to wolf down the blessings of the season. We were created to taste them, to enjoy them, to relish them, to feel them, to savor the flavors of all of God's amazing grace. A connoisseur is an expert who's learned to appreciate the deeper richness of a piece of art or a culinary delicacy or even a once-in-a-lifetime activity. So as followers of Christ, we are to become grace connoisseurs, experts, in appreciating the finer aspects of God's kindness, of God's goodness. So you need not wolf down the blessings of God. You can choose to savor each and every one moment by moment. And that's good news. May God's richest blessings be with you and your family as you savor the season. Amen.